Hello friends, in this session we will discuss about the project management. What is the project and what is the project management, what are the different types of the project, how to manage the project, what is the project life cycle, and then what is the project appraisal, what are the different types of the appraisal like market appraisal, financial appraisal, economic appraisal, ecological appraisal and social appraisal. These appraisals are used before doing the selection of the project. So for selection of the project we have to consider the number of factors, and these factors must be satisfied for selection of the project. Then only we can select the particular project. That means this is the analysis of the capacity and other things before selecting the project. Now what is a project? Project is any activity which has some objective and it consumes some resources. It consumes some resources. These resources may be in terms of the time, money, uh, material, cost, etc. But it must have some objective. So if there is any objective with any activity, then this may be called as a project. According to the PMI, Project Management Institute, it is defined as a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product or service. This is known as project. That means there is a word that is a temporary endeavor. Temporary endeavor means the project has the certain starting point and certain ending point. So there should be the fixed start and fixed end. This is the temporary type of the activity. It cannot run for the continuously for the long time. So there is certain fixed duration of the project, and within that duration we have to complete the project. Now these are the some features of the project. The first one is start and end. A project has a definite start and end on a time scale. That means there is a fixed project duration. And then second, the life cycle. There is a certain life cycle. That means the selection of the project, then the planning, scheduling, monitoring, controlling, and finally hand over the project to the customer. So this is the ending. So this is the life cycle of the project. And then budget. There is expenditure in commencing and starting the project. Then maybe requirement of this budget, and then activities. A project has a number of non-repetitive type of the activities which consume some time on completion, and these activities are interdependent on each other, and there is a sequential relationship between the different activities, and we process to finish the project in a particular sequence only, and we cannot break the sequence. Then resources. A project consumes resources in the form of time, money, and labor. Then management principle. A project follows a planned, organized method to meet its objective with a specific goal of quality and the performance. There is a manager's responsibility in the project to take the responsibility of outcomes of the project, and then team roles and responsibility. It is to be developed, defined, and established to perform the assigned task to those team members, and then the objective, as we have already said, that a project has fixed objective that is to be achieved within the scheduled time under the allocated resources. So these are the features of the project. Now the project management. A number of project definitions are available for the project management, and these are the some important definitions. This definition is given as a scientific approach to planning, implementation, monitoring, and control of various aspects of a project, such as man, machine, material, money, time, and other resources. That means we manage all the resources for completion of the project or to achieve the project's objective. And according to PMI, Project Management Institute, project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities in order to meet stakeholders' needs and expectations from a project. So this is the definition of the project. Now the classification of the project. The project may be the personal level project or the local or neighborhood project, then organizational level project, national level projects, or the global level projects. It depends on the involvement of the people. If there is only one people or one family is involved, then this is known as a personal level the project. If this is there is some people involved at the society level or the village level, then this is known as local project. Similarly, in a organization, the project may be at the organizational level. This may be the project of that organization only. Then similarly there may be the national level project, and then the global project. So on the basis of the involvement of the people and involvement of the regions and the governments, the project may be classified in these categories. Now, advantages of the project management. If we use the project management, then it allows us to accomplish more work in less time with fewer people. So, if we organize the project in the proper way and manage this project, then we can complete the project considering the lesser number of people in the effective way. It also increases the profitability, and it makes the organization more efficient and effective through better organizational process control. And it also allows us to work closely with our customers and workers or the team members, because this is a teamwork, and under this team there are a number of persons and we have to work with these people. So there is a development of the culture of the group work or the team culture. It provides a means for the solving the problems, and then it increases the quality. It reduces a power struggle due to teamwork and culture. In a project, a number of people involved in that team. So a team culture is developed, and there is no ego problem or the power struggle type of the problem in that team. It allows people to make good company decision, and it increases our business opportunities also. And this is about the project life cycle. We can see here in this project life cycle, the first phase is initial phase. In this initial phase, we select the project. And for selection the resources requirement is very less. And this is the planning phase. After selection of the project, we have to plan that what are the requirement, how many people are required, what type of skills are required, what type of other resources are required. So this is the planning phase. And after planning phase, there may be the executing phase or the monitoring phase. So in the execution phase, we start the project, and this is the maturity of this project. And after that, the closing phase is started. This closing phase starts from here, and finally at the end of this project, we hand over this project to the customer or to the organization. So this is the complete lifetime of the project, and this is life cycle. And there are four phases of the project life cycle. First is initial phase, that is the selection of the project. Second is the planning phase, planning of the utilization of the different resources and requirement of the resources. Then third phase is execution and monitoring phase, and fourth phase is the closeout phase. So this is project life cycle. Now the project appraisal. To appraise the project, there are a number of techniques. The first one may be technical appraisal, then there may be the financial appraisal, there may be the market appraisal, there may be the economic appraisal, then there may be the ecological appraisal. So these are the appraisal, and we have to appraise the product considering these capability. For example, if we consider the technical appraisal, the project must be technology proven or tested. The technology, process, equipment technically must fit in the organization's existing capacity. And then the list of equipments and machinery to be installed must meet the cost and specification of the equipments required by the organization. The equipment capacity is to be analyzed and checked that it is as per the organization's requirement. The recommended equipment supplied capability must be evaluated and checked. That means we have to check that technically this project is feasible or not feasible, organization is able to meet this technology or not, and what type of technology is required to complete this project. So this is all about the technical appraisal. Now the financial appraisal. Under this financial appraisal, it is required to find the financial support for what will be the different source or the agencies for the funding or the financial support. So this type of the financial appraisal is required before selection of the project, and how much cost will be required, what will be the source of the finance, etc. Then the economic appraisal, it ensures that the nation and society at large will be better off as a result of the project. The benefits should be greater than the project cost over the life of the investment, and the social cost benefit analysis is required in the economic appraisal. Then direct economic benefits and cost in terms of the shadow prices is analyzed. Then impact of the project on distribution of income in the society. So this is a type of the socio-economic analysis, and impact of the fulfillment of the national goals, self-sufficiency, employment, social order. What will be this type of the analysis, and what is the impact, economic impact due to this project? So this must be analyzed under the economic appraisal. After this social appraisal, that means the society is able to bear that project or not. After completion of the project, we have to analyze this thing. The effect of the project on the different groups at individual, household, and community levels is to be analyzed. Then what will be the impact of the project on women and men and their participation in various stages of the project life cycle. Then what will be the social benefits of the project, then identification of the stakeholders and finding the interest, then effect of the proposed project on the stakeholders, then project priorities for different groups, identification of stakeholders capacity to participate in the project. So this is related to the social appraisal of the project. Then market appraisal, fix the demand of the project in the market, and then the estimation of the market share of the proposed project and the service. Now, ecological appraisal, this is related to the environmental effect of the project, the impact of the project on the quality of air, water, noise, vegetation, and human life, estimation of the likely damage to ecology, and the cost of the restoration, etc. So these things are to be appraised before selection of the project. There are three types of the project. One may be the pure project, second one is the functional project, third one is the matrix project. You can see here the structure of the pure project. In the pure project, there is a one project manager. Under this project manager, all the activities, all the people are working, and they are doing for the project. Now the pure project has some advantages and disadvantages. These advantages are the listed here. The project manager has a full authority over the project or the product. The team members report to one boss only. The project manager is the boss of the entire project, and all the team members have to report to that boss only. And it has certain communication chains. Team pride, motivation, and commitment are very high due to a small team size, and less number of people in the pure project. Now it has some disadvantages also. There is a duplication of the resources. Suppose a number of projects are there, and all these projects are in the pure form. Then there may be the requirement of duplication of the resources. Then organizational goals and policies are ignored. There is a lack of technology transfer. Team members have no functional area and home. The team members are employed for that particular project only. After completion of the project, the team members becomes the unemployed, and they face the problem of they may face the problem of unemployment or they have to search the another job. Now, this is the functional project and this runs under the functional department. And in this case, again, there may be some advantages and disadvantages. A team member can work on the several projects because a number of project runs in the functional area, and in this functional area, there are a number of people they are working on this project. So they get the exposure of more than one projects running at a time. Then technical expertise is maintained within the functional areas. Then the functional area is a home after project completion. That means after completion of the project, the people working on that project return to their functional department or the functional area. A critical mass of specialized knowledge creates synergistic solutions to a project's technical problem. That means the involvement of the people from the different functional area. It is a synergistic type of the solution which can be found very easily for the project execution. Then this functional project has also some disadvantages. Aspects of the project that are not directly related to functional area get shortchanged. And then motivation of the team member is often weak in comparison to the pure project, and needs of the client are responded slowly. But in that case, in the case of the pure project, the communication length is very small, and directly all the members report to the project manager, and project manager gives the direction to the directly to the different team members. So communication length is very small, and in this way the client is responded very fastly. Then this is the matrix project. In the matrix project, a number of departments are involved and number of projects are running through these departments. So in this case, you can see that the project manager A, project manager B, project manager C, they are running three projects, and all the three projects has to have to pass through the different functional area for the processing of the different activities. For example, engineering, operations, finance, and other areas. So this type of the project is known as matrix project, and it has some certain advantages. There is enhanced communication between functional areas. Then pinpointed responsibility, duplication of the resources is minimized. There is functional home for team members. The policies of the parent organizations are followed. So this is a more or less similar to the functional area, functional project. But in the case of the functional project, the number of project runs in one functional area. But here, a number of functional areas are also involved in the number of projects. So this is known as matrix project. But in the case of the functional project, all the different projects run in one functional area, other project in other functional area, and other and so on. So in this way, we can see that some people are working on that project only, and after completion of that project they return to that area. But here a number of people from the different area are employed to complete the project, and finally after completion of the project they return to their own functional area. Now, project structure matrix, where this has also some disadvantages. There are two bosses, project manager and functional manager. The success of project depends on the project manager's negotiating skills. A project manager uses sub-optimization for success of his own project only, and he may damage the other project. Thus, this is the potential for the sub-optimization. So this is one of the big problem in the matrix type of the project, that the one project manager always focused on their only one project, and they do not care about the others project. They may damage the other project also. So thank you. This is all about the project management. Now we will discuss about the network planning model of the project management in the next session.